Hi.
Hey, what's up? This
Didn't see there.
Welcome to show. For those who aren't watching live, remember you can watch us every Thursday right on time at 3:04 p.m. Central. No one's watching us live because this is pre-recorded again. And look, I'm back. I haven't been on the last like 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was about to say, nothing's changed, and you were just like,
I was like
reading that.
Neo, like dodging so many bullets.
We had Trinity
with all
filling,
these
it's fine.
pre-records. But you know, if you are watching this live, good work. That means you're hiding in the room somewhere. Hey. I got one laugh.
Yeah, it was
Thanks to our firsties for watching, supporting the show. Hey, I'm your host, Michael. We got Lindsay. We got Jeremy in town.
Oh, my God.
We got Joe, who announced his death right before we started.
Yes.
He just kept saying, I'm dying.
I'm officially dead.
Do you want to make a public
dead or
announcement?
you're dying?
I'm dead.
Oh, you're a ghost?
I'm a ghost.
Okay.
Damn. And I said, why are you here?
Get me
And
a
then he
Haley
said,
Joel
because I
Osment.
want to. And then the show
I
started.
didn't want to pass on into the afterlife. I wanted to stay on the off-topic set for the rest of the remainder of
What?
Something's
What is he
passed,
I don't
that's
know.
for sure, yeah.
I don't know. Something's wrong with him.
Hot air.
I've been out doing a bunch of shit, and this guy's been going through something while I've been gone, apparently. I don't know what's up.
Wow. Achievement Hunter could do like an in memoriam video.
Yeah.
for you.
Oh my God.
It'd be cool.
I get a video?
Yeah, I always thought it'd be Jeff first, but it'd be cool to see one about you.
Sure. Well, you get an in memoriam video, and you get the benefit of being there to edit it. You get notes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you get a note pass.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, he gets a note pass, or he edits it?
Well, we don't. He's dead, Michael. Come on.
I don't
He
know
just
what
died.
you're
Don't
saying.
make him edit his own in memoriam video.
I don't know what's going on. Hey, wait, hang on. Let me get a sniff of this set. Has Blaine been here?
Yes.
I could tell. I could tell.
Yes, multiple times.
Multiple times?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Damn. We were in trouble, huh?
We're in trouble, yeah.
Okay. Well, now we got Jeremy, though.
Right.
Who I didn't know was on the show, let alone in town, until I think yesterday. Because I looked at it and went, Jeremy, I wonder, oh, I guess he's coming into town. That makes sense.
I barely know.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't like that I was gonna be here.
Yeah.
That was only a couple days
I picked
ago.
him up this morning. I was like, let's ride.
You picked him up, like, from the airport this
No,
morning?
from the
No,
hotel.
just from the hotel. Because I messaged him asking if he could pick me up because it was pouring rain outside.
Yeah.
And I was just imagining me getting dropped off by an Uber and standing outside the gate. 'Cause I don't know how to gate.
Saddest scene.
Just like waiting for someone to let me in.
Do you have an umbrella? Anything? No?
Who
Oh,
travels with an umbrella?
I'm sorry, prepared people. I
No
always
one.
travel with an
No
umbrella.
one.
Is that
You're
weird?
gonna fly to another
Okay.
state and bring an
I
umbrella?
was lucky I
Yes.
brought a sweatshirt with
Right?
me,
Exactly.
you
You're
know?
wearing a jacket, especially coming to Austin.
Right. I just want to lose all my jackets.
Who the
coming
fuck
here.
would travel with an umbrella if you really need it? Just buy one.
Right.
How much is an umbrella?
I don't even own an umbrella in my house.
I think I only own umbrellas because of Lindsay.
I think I own like 5 umbrellas.
Yeah.
It's too
But
many.
they're mostly shitty ones. You get those little dinky ones that you can tell by the handle, right? If you've
Right,
got
right.
like the hook, that's a nice umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got the little plastic like puck, that's a piece of shit.
The knob.
Yeah. The knob, because then you open it and it's like, it's decent for rain, but once the wind blows, it goes up. It like, pulls itself inside
Sure, it
out.
inverts.
Yeah, and then that's the telltale sign of
How much noise it makes when you do this? Well, it's all.
Yeah, that's
Very
true.
It makes a lot of noise. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's true. That's Mary Poppins had the good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that floated her
For
ass.
some odd reason, you did that, and all I thought it was my grandfather. I don't know, is that like
don't
an
know
old
why.
person thing with a
Does he
crappy
usually
umbrella?
float around?
Damn it!
I don't know. I would ask my fellow old people.
Yeah, anyone? Thank
See
you.
if
Jeremy,
they'll
I speak
Dude,
for them.
talk about fellow old people. You should check this out when it comes out. I don't want to jump the gun here, but I assume it's going to come out before this, or it won't. We did a Let's Roll the other day, and it was like a Marvel game, and so we all had costumes. And by costumes, I mean I think it was like a mask. Fucking Larry was dressed as Captain America, but he was old Captain America. So he bought a mask. I walk in, and it's your old man mask there. And I just went, what the fuck? And he was like, look, I tried to find a different one. That's all they had. I couldn't find it.
That's
it's
not canon.
So it's the one that you have.
Yeah.
But it's on Larry's head, so it looks very different, right?
Right.
Just because his head's shaped different. He's got long ass hair, and he's wearing the Captain America, like just the face mask over it because he was playing old Cap.
Yeah.
And he went with a real Jersey accent for some reason. I mean, I realize he's from New York, but he really doesn't have an accent. much at all. It was like I kept calling him Carl because it was basically Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Where he'd be like, I don't know what's going on, and he's just like, and the mustache on him just reminded me of Carl's mustache.
No, I don't think I will.
It was
the fuck does this say?
fucking bizarre. He'd be like, I don't know what's going on. And he was in a big robe. Like, I guess, I don't even understand that. You know, usually he wears his wizard's, like, robe. It was more of, like, a bathrobe, I guess, because he's
an old man.
an old person.
Yeah.
But it was very unsettling. Him wearing your face.
Yeah, I know that comes out at the end of the week. I'm in it. I dressed up as
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I was wondering why he was like, you can reference old Cap.
We occasionally mention you.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I say is, what the fuck? Why is, so Matt is Wolverine and you're Magneto. I was like, I feel like there's a height difference going on here.
Yeah, that should definitely be swapped.
And he just kept saying multiverse.
Oh, okay.
Despite there not being anything next to me in terms of scale, you can still tell I'm a really short Magneto. Just like from the costume, it's because it has built-in muscles on the top, but not on the
you got
bottom.
an actual costume.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. But also, instead of the helmet, it's a mask. So if I turn my head, it's just bald head in the background. But the mask in the front.
Yes. Oh, it's weak point. Yes.
That looks really good.
That episode is insane. I'll just say that. Like, it's a crazy Let's Roll. We were stunned.
Yeah.
I'll just say that for anyone that wants to tune into that when it comes out.
Probably Thursday or Friday. He said it the week.
That, which is probably, if you're watching this new, like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Could be today if you're watching it.
For all we know.
You know what I mean?
I doubt anyone here knows, but I'm curious now because you mentioned it. Did they try to get Chris Evans to do a New York accent at all? The process?
I'm thinking about it, and I guess it's
because it's also New York in what year was he living?
Yeah, it was the 40s.
Yeah,
40s when it was like
World War
frozen.
II. Yeah,
it was World War II.
What's late 30s? Probably. Then? I don't know. Listen,
I think it's late 30s into the 40s. Thinking about it, there's probably some words, but he's definitely not. He doesn't have what I consider the classic East Coast accent, which is just piece of shit, trash human. You know what I mean? You just hear people what are you talking about? Right? He doesn't do that. That's what Larry does, and so it was very funny to me.
That really reminds me of the bizarre conversation I had with my Uber driver yesterday, where the first thing he said to me, because he picked me up from the airport, he was up from I guess someone from San Antonio needed an Uber ride to Austin, so he was in Austin. Picks me up, and he's like, where are you from? And I said, I'm flying in from Boston, whatever. And he goes, oh, I love it in Boston, but my buddy over in California, he hates it there. He's such a snowflake. Oh, the first thing he says to me, I'm like, this is gonna be a ride. He goes, he thinks people there are too rude. He's like, no, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry people are mad at you because you asked for ice and your chocolate vanilla frappuccino, whatever the fuck you order. I'm like, this guy's got problems.
Get him.
Damn, dude.
Like, yeah,
is this Uber therapy that I walked into?
I don't know. I was just venting.
Jeremy's the therapist.
I was just in the back, dude, I know. Tell me about it.
Especially when you're stuck in a car with someone and you're paying them to drive you, you just kind of just go yeah. Mm-hmm. That's my go-to, right? You just go, yeah.
Oh yeah. I assume Jeremy would be like, I'm more of a latte person, but I feel you, dude. Yeah, that frappuccino.
Just say engage
with him.
You say nothing. You don't engage. Right.
I had to get directions to my Uber today.
Yeah, that was interesting. Didn't they have a computer?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, my Uber got lost, and he has two phones.
Right.
And they both have GPS open.
Right.
So I was
What's the issue there?
Okay, so where we are. It was a closed road, and I was like, okay, well if you just turn around, and then turn around where we're coming from, and you take a left at that light instead, you can get back on that road, but faster. He decides to go all the way around, basically through going to downtown, and then coming back up.
Yeah, you said you were like, my Uber missed a turn, and I'm gonna be an extra 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is insanity, because we're in an area where it's there's tons of, you could just turn down a street and turn around.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not like a highway where you gotta go to the next ramp.
I got
you can just cut through a neighborhood. There's a shopping center, there's neighborhoods, you can just make 3 turns and you're back where you were.
It's
I didn't understand
it's less than a 10-minute drive, and it took me 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes to fucking get here.
Maybe he just wanted
That's
some company.
wild.
Was he telling you about Frappuccinos too? Or
No,
some
he
kind
was
of
dead quiet.
cousin in California?
He also,
That guy? Yeah.
I'm sorry, was a horrible driver. He got honked at least 6 times. And I'm just sitting in the back. I was like, look, I've been going through some stuff since last week, and I was like, yep. I was like, I'm gonna die. I was like,
Well, you told him. You told him.
I
We're like,
Take me
Mom,
now.
I'm dying already. We're like, I need to get to off topic so I can die there, and then at least your ghost can stay here.
Yeah.
You know what
At
the
least
worst-
this is a permanent set.
Yeah.
So
you know
can
what
come
the
up these
worst part
halls.
was? Is I got charged more. I got charged double for what the trip was because he got so lost that he doubled.
I don't even think that's
She can
allowed.
text that.
He
Yeah.
like quadrupled the distance it took to get here.
I don't think that's allowed. Isn't it? It's a set rate though.
It said it was a set
I
rate.
think it can increase. I believe.
I've heard about people
Weird.
doing that. Yeah.
Man, you got God. That guy didn't get lost at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
He was just like, oops.
Well, I mean, I can see why
He
he
gave you the
probably hated
runaround
it.
and the
Because
roundabout.
he doesn't know how to drive, so it must be hard being an Uber driver if you don't know how to
they
drive.
give you that. I mean, like, I know taxis don't. Like, Kat and I took.
For sure.
The last time we took a cab was in L.A. after the tour. When we were going back to the
in the year
well,
2022.
yes, because we needed to go
Wow.
to the airport, and we kept calling an Uber to come to the hotel and bring us to the airport, and they kept canceling changing and being like,
yeah.
this one's now this far away, 20 minutes away, and we were like, we gotta kind of go, and they were like, we can get you a cab in like a couple minutes. I'm like, all right.
right,
The
sure.
hotel was like, we'll get you a cab.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It was this old guy that I don't know. I would assume has been living in If you're driving a cab in LA, you probably have lived there for a while or worked there. He gets to the airport, and there's obviously traffic because it's LAX.
Right. Because it's LA, period.
Right, but there's traffic heading to departures and where we should be dropped off. And he kept getting like fed up with it and leaving the traffic and going on the road that like didn't have traffic, but like going to arrivals and like
I was gonna say then leaving departures.
right, and then leaving departures and then
Right.
going to this way and going, and we're watching the like on our phone. Google Maps being like, okay, well, if you had sat in that traffic, it was going to be like 5 minutes before you were at your thing. Now it's like 25 minutes.
Holy shit.
And
So
and,
annoyed.
like,
No.
I eventually just like leaned up and I'm like, dude, just put us here. And it was at like, we were flying out American. You know, we need American departures. We were at like United Arrivals. And I was like,
Just let us out.
I'll put us here. We'll navigate the airport
Good
to get
Lord.
to where we need to go. And like he eventually did. He just like worked his way in front of a bus and dropped us on the side.
You'd think he'd be used to it. I don't know if he was trying to like maneuver and thought maybe there'd be an
Trying to get
opening later.
paid.
Yeah, I guess so.
was
Goodness.
the weirdest.
Fucking
And he kept
LA's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, and he was like swearing at people in Russian or whatever.
that's
he was
a
talking.
cab
I was like,
already.
dude, I gotta get us.
I
out
just
of here.
can't ever imagine being in a cab again for the rest of my life.
It's vintage now.
It's
Very
not
classy,
I see
vintage.
Jeremy,
why.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's not vintage like classy. It's vintage like
Gross.
the person.
This is
they're
what
like,
they did.
I know how to
Yes,
drive, and so they ignore any directions or anything that makes
Really
sense. And like, not to say like cab drivers will like, they'll like rip you off, but they're more likely to rip you off than a rideshare because it's again 9 out of 10 times it's like there's the computer. I'm gonna listen to the computer. And cab drivers can just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Like you're
But
talking
also, like, it's funny that you went with it works because you're at a hotel.
Yes.
But otherwise, cab drivers are the most unreliable fucking thing in the world. You call a cab, they're like, we're on the way.
Yeah,
and then an hour goes by.
I thought he
You just go,
stepped
"Are
outside
you
and
coming?"
hailed one.
Oh,
that
no,
could happen too.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy to me. Right? Or calling, like, you're like Googling a number, like, I need a cab. Like, I remember Lindsay and I did that years ago. Like, I mean, Uber and Lyft probably existed, but it was very early on. And I remember we were out of town somewhere. We were at an event, a convention or something, and we were just like out at night, and we had walked somewhere. But we walked like 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever. And then it was nighttime, and then we didn't want to walk back. And we spent like 40 minutes calling cabs that just didn't show up.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, it was like the third one we called, and we left. And then like 45 minutes after that, one of the other cabs called and they're like, where are you? We're here.
Where are you?
And it's like, dude, that was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm not
We've
there.
moved on, okay?
And so
We
like,
don't
just,
think about you
just for
anymore.
that, like, again, I like that fucking ride shares. It's like, and I've called them, and this is where they are, and they're on their fucking way. I can see how far away they are. dude, doing a cab now, it just seems insane.
I think the last time we took a reliable cab was in the UK.
Oh, the UK's got great cabs.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, we just did a Comic-Con Wales with the Ruby group, and I did another like cab tour through, just like traveling around by myself. I enjoyed the countryside a little bit, and it was really nice. And yeah, I think that is the only reliable and enjoyable cab experience I've had in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little cabbies.
Now,
Great.
let's not confuse this with a car service.
No.
That's classy.
Yeah.
That's when you get like a nice smelling
sorry,
car, and there's water in it. You know what I mean? It's
A
usually
mint,
there's some sort of
perhaps?
leather. I don't want mints. Get
Oh,
mint
all right,
from
calm
me.
down.
I'll take gum if I need it.
Sorry, this is my experience.
Mint's yucky.
Yeah.
You don't like mints?
No, not really.
No.
They're more
Why is
sugar
breath
than
is
anything.
gross?
They're just like, they taste like shit.
What? What
Mints?
about Altoid? They're
like
curiously
I think they're
strong.
delicious.
Yeah, they're
You're
very
insane.
strong.
Altoids are good.
Yeah, curiously.
Just
Yeah,
give
I
me
don't
like some gum. Give me spearmint gum or something. And I'll be done with it.
Goodness.
I don't know.
I'll be.
I hate a mint too because it's a commitment. Some mints where it's like, I was done with this thing 5 minutes ago.
So I just spit it out.
Yeah.
I'll suck on a mint
Gum
for
is
like
more
30
of a commitment
seconds.
than anything.
No, not at all.
Mints.
No, but gum is done whenever you want. A mint, you're like, if I spit it out, I'm wasting it. Like a mint has an end, right? It's gone. You suck it down to nothing and then you eat it.
You could just swallow it whole.
You could. I haven't
just
tried
chew
that.
it. Or just
pill.
chew it
Good,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
chew
what
it
I'm
up,
saying
yeah.
though. But at that point, it goes, now I gotta chew it. Also, I don't like peppermint, which is most mints.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not a big
Yeah,
fan.
I like spearmint mints. That's like the only mint that I like.
I like big red gum, like cinnamon,
Oh, yeah, you
which
like
really
that?
doesn't get into like mint at that point.
No.
Like that's
I'm
not
not a
gonna
fan.
freshen your
It's a
breath.
candy.
I don't want spicy gum.
Yeah.
I don't want, like Red Hots, also not a fan. I don't want like cinnamon candy, not a fan.
Same.
Hot
Yeah.
tamales.
I like
Nah,
tamales.
yeah.
I like hot tamales.
I'm
Yeah.
a wuss. Yeah.
Delicious.
I'm just not
Yeah.
into that cinnamon. I think, I don't know, I feel like as a kid, it always, like, and going to the dentist, they always had mint and cinnamon flavored, like, toothpaste and stuff, right? And I
like
think the
bubble gum,
cinnamon always
usually.
sounded so good because I like cinnamon rolls and things.
Right.
And then they
Very
give me that, and I'd be
different.
like, not what I wanted, not
Yeah,
what I want,
it's
not what I like.
very different
There
experience.
is definitely 2 levels of cinnamon:
Hot,
hot and sweet.
good.
So where does Fireball land on that? Where are we?
Oh, that's
That's both.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good. The blend.
Because it
okay.
burns in your
Yeah.
throat and it
Oh.
also is sweet as fuck.
yeah.
The pain
it's
means
somewhere
it's
in the
working.
middle.
Okay. Well, say I'm a wuss too. I don't like cinnamon
Yeah, you
candy,
are.
but I'm a little bit of a wimp. But I like Airheads. Or sorry, we've had this conversation
Yeah,
before.
I'm a little bit of a wuss, but I like
Warheads. Yeah, we
Airheads.
had
I love sour.
we had this discussion in the office with Kai. She called them Airheads, and we were like, wait, Warheads? We're like, yes, Warheads. Sorry, and I did the same thing. I liked Warheads a lot as a kid, and we had Warhead challenges. I don't know if y'all did that too. I'm sure Jeremy has a few flashbacks from videos we made. But well, I don't know if y'all ever participated in a few Warhead
I don't know
Yeah,
if
we
I
shove as many as you
Yeah, I
can
don't know
in
if I
your
did a
mouth.
regulation challenge.
Yeah, no, you'd have like one person at recess, you'd step up to the dodgeball area, and you'd have one person shove as many as they could in their mouth, and the other person did the
Jeremy
same,
did
and you'd
something
wait.
This is a little bit. This is a little bit more serious than the typical Warhead challenge.
or
You
you get,
avoid
like-
the black cherry ones, and you're pretty good. Those ones will get you.
I was gonna say, or you'd get a single black cherry, the mega sour ones, and you were like, here it is, like the ultra, like, oh my God, how'd you get one of those? Did your mom let you buy that? That's crazy.
I know, it was like smuggled goods.
I never got that far.
Right? These aren't allowed on these parts.
Whoa.
The playground? Yes.
Didn't you hear there was some
Dude,
limited edition pack?
Oh my God.
I just on the last episode of Face Jam we recorded, somebody sent in a snack. I don't know if you've ever had Albanese gummy bears. They're like the most delicious gummy bears. They are 10 out of 10, the best gummy bears they make. But they sent a sour version. And it was the least sour candy I'd ever had. Like, it was fascinating because it looked like Sour Patch Kids with the dust and everything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you put it in your mouth and it's like the smallest register of sour for a sour candy I've ever had, right? Where I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe that. Like, I don't know what they did to get it not sour. I looked at Eric and he was like, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was just like, I can't do sour. And Jordan and I are just like, these are not sour. Like, not like a person that eats spicy food and they go, that's not spicy, but they just eat spicy foods in someone else's time. Like, I mean, I cannot articulate it compared to a Sour Patch Kid. It was like 10% as sour.
Yeah.
20%
To
as
a
sour.
Sour Patch Kid?
Yes, and he's literally like he just sucked on a lemon, and I
Awesome.
was like, I don't think I've ever met anyone that like can't eat sour.
Yeah,
It would just surprise me.
But it makes
he
sense
the
that
second
it's
one
Eric
was
somehow.
Or if you just don't have it, right, and then you just become sensitive to citric or malic
it was
acid
just
or whatever.
like the most mild sour flavor I'd ever had in my life.
Where are they made? Where are they from?
I have no idea.
Do you know?
They're just called Albany.
I'm just thinking about like
Albania.
it was
Albania.
I don't
Hey, listen, smarty pants. How dare you?
When you say Albania, it's like, oh, they're from.
you know what I'm just saying? I don't think so. Could be wrong.
We don't know. I'm only
But,
asking because
that was
maybe
crazy.
maybe there's regulation about like sugar content in certain candies.
there's
Maybe
regulation.
for like
Oh.
how much sour.
Trust me, it was fucking sweet.
That'd be an interesting question.
So-
It was sweet, but it was just it was weird. It was a weird one.
Bizarre. I like to think if that is true and there is regulation for how much sour or acid can be put
Legal
in candy.
sour limit.
Thank you, Jeremy. You're doing God's work. Appreciate it. I'm wondering also if like, just think about Americans as a whole. Like we have so much food that has so much like taste and like overabundance of sugar and sour or whatever it is. I'm like, I think Americans just want to feel something, including when we're eating. I feel like we just want to taste something.
I feel like food does that.
No.
Alone. Like
See,
without sour.
That's why I feel like that every day. It's because I'm American.
yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
wanna feel something.
There's
you should try food.
Goodness. There's tasting the food, but then like we also eat food that will clearly hurt us, and we're
Yeah.
okay with that. We're like, yeah, we want.
But
the
that's not
experience.
sour.
It's too much sour, Michael.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
We want the nos of sour. Please.
Like I have been on a very strict, very bland diet for the past like 5 days. My body has never felt
Better?
more, better. Like
Yeah.
it's still like it still sucks. But there's nothing wrong like after I'm done eating.
Right.
Like I don't feel like shit.
a good
No,
feeling,
it's
right?
it's a thing you get very accustomed to too, right? Like
Yeah.
it's you feel like shit, but it's not like every day you go, man, I feel like shit because what I'm eating. You're just like I just feel like shit. I'm a human being. I feel like shit. But then there was one day where I ate sushi for lunch, and then we had Vince Young's for dinner. And the next day I felt so good because my only 2 meals were 2 like good food, like not even healthy, but it was like good food.
Yeah.
It wasn't garbage. And I was just like, man, I ate decent for one day and I feel so good. Like it
says a lot.
It's
It
makes
so
you
bad.
Yes.
Anyway, let me get to this cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And I sucked it.
Yes. I immediately landed and got Torchy's last night.
Oh, nice.
And
What'd you get?
I got 2 trailer parks, 2 trashy trailer parks.
So I never do trashy, but yum. Still.
Trailer Park's chicken.
Yeah, like fried
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
Ooh, so good. But then I also got a, I think it's a Democrat, is what it is, like cilantro and shredded beef or something.
Brisket.
Yeah, or shredded
I think
brisket or
it's
something.
brisket.
But I didn't eat it last night. I just put it in the fridge, and I ate it this morning. What I didn't realize is I took it out, and I was like, man, this is heavier than I remember. And I ate the whole thing, and I didn't realize until halfway through it that there was a full lime wedge in it.
Oh God.
I just eaten half the lime wedge.
Oh no.
Awesome.
That
I was chewing it. I was like,
do
this
you not-
bite tastes different. And I looked
Yeah.
down, I saw half the
Fuck you
lime
not.
coming
It's
out.
so
I was like,
bitter.
yeah, I was like the rind and everything. I
yeah,
was like,
you're eating pure zest.
I was like, oh my god.
It's pretty hardcore.
So then what I realized though is, so I ate that, and then I brushed my teeth and used mouthwash. Mixing mint and cilantro is
Oh.
a nightmare flavor combination.
Thanks.
Very oniony.
Thanks, Mike. Is that Indiana?
Write that
Is
down.
IN Indiana? Albany's gummy
Wait, you said
bears
it's
are
oniony?
from Indiana.
Oh.
Oh,
Not obvious at all.
but Indiana, Albania.
Sure.
Yeah,
yeah, there we
small
go.
province in the middle of Albania.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Of
it's
course.
actually IN India. It's from India.
Oh.
Got
lovely.
it. Got it.
Yeah, dude, I love that Torchy's now finally, after, I don't know, its inception, has a fucking app. You'd think like, I don't know, it's like an Austin-based company. I know they're
Like a
bigger
food
now.
truck originally.
They're bigger now, but like, you know, I think Torchy's might exist outside of Austin in some
Yes.
places.
They do.
But it's
They
one
do.
of those expanding enterprises. But it's still like anything that kind of starts in the, I mean, it's not that old. I think Torchy's is only like 15 years old. But it's like an Austin thing, and so I just associate that with very like present and like apps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like most businesses here aren't antiquated, but their online ordering was always through like a third-party site.
Yeah.
And they finally got their own fucking app, and they have their secret menu on the app, which I think kind of is counterintuitive to a secret menu. But I don't give a shit because now I can finally order the Ace of Spades ahead of
maybe.
time.
Oh.
Torchy's has a secret menu.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they
Ace
do.
of Spades.
Of course, it's
Ace-
Austin. Everything
Ace
has
of
a
Spades
secret
is the
menu.
king
Well,
of
right.
tacos.
So
And
there's
so-
Torchy's in Colorado, and that's where I first had Torchy's. Was
Right.
there, and I've been eating
Right.
it for years. And I came here, I was like, oh.
Most places, apparently, I've learned have the secret menu. But some places, like I think again, like there's some cities where it's like big deal. I assume LA is another one, right? It's always like in and out
sure.
secret
Yeah.
menu
Yeah.
or whatever. But so I always order Torchy's ahead of time because it's busy and they actually like cook the food, so it takes a while,
Yeah.
right? It
It's
takes
not
like
fast
20
food.
minutes.
Yeah.
And so I'll always order it ahead. And but I'm not gonna speak to a human being on the phone, so I can never order the Ace of Spades unless I go there and then I place the order, and then the wait's even longer. And so very rarely did I get it, but now it's on the app. I get whatever I want, and I always add an extra Ace of Spades, which is asinine because it's fucking huge.
It's giant.
right?
You need
the Ace of
one.
Spades?
Ace of Spades is they take 2 tortillas. It's 2 tortillas big. They kind of like Venn diagram it. So it's like they overlap a little bit in the middle, but it's bigger.
seam,
Yep.
yes.
And it's like brisket, spicy sausage,
Like a full sausage line.
an egg,
Queso.
queso, some sort of
there bacon on
pepper
it?
or
No?
chili. I don't
Right.
know if there's bacon. It's like
It's
a
very
fuck ton
breakfasty.
of shit.
There's so
Yeah.
much flavor.
Dude, it's
that I
Yes.
haven't tasted.
It's so much flavor, bro.
It's
You bite it,
Don't
it's
know.
so juicy because it's like you're getting the meat juice, you're getting cheese, you're getting queso, and you're getting egg.
Dude, I don't know what salt tastes like.
And it's like, and I would say
overwhelm
it's,
you.
If you stop eating salt,
It's not scrambled eggs, it's like a fried egg.
Oh.
So you get like the yolk.
All right.
It is very good.
It's got a sliced jalapeno link sausage, grilled brisket, fried egg, green chili queso, cotija cheese, cheddar jack cheese, sour cream, and cilantro with
Sour cream,
the Diablo sauce as well.
Oh, the Diablo sauce is also their best sauce.
yeah.
Well, now
It's fucking, that's their best taco, hands down. But it's like that
big
big.
boy.
It's like a burrito.
with the Diablo sauce and how much is packed into that massive thing, how is it exiting? Is it
It's usually pretty
bad?
rough.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your honesty.
I mean,
appreciate it.
I'm in a level of like I like spicy foods more than my body does, right? Like I don't eat insane shit, but I'll eat like the Diablo sauce. I think is the spiciest sauce they have. It doesn't compare if you talk to people who like go out of their way to get spicy shit.
Yeah.
It's not that hot. But like I never ate spicy food growing up. That was like an adult thing where I started eating spicy foods. And so that's like my limit there. I'll eat it, I'll love it, but as soon as I start like putting Diablo sauce on, my face starts leaking. You
See, I'm
I
just
get, like,
prepping Joe
My nose
also.
is running and my eyes will water and shit. And so when that happens going in, it's not good coming out. Right? Like your mouth handles it better.
Does it
well, you can
come
like
out,
drink
like-
water real quick. I don't usually put water in my anus.
Does it come out loosely though?
We have a bidet, Michael.
No, I don't really have like. That's actually true.
Yeah.
I do. Put
You
water
can put
my
water in your anus, and you do.
Yeah, but it's just like kind of on the. It's like the equivalent of like splashing it onto my mouth as opposed to drinking it. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
drink through my anus.
You
Try
can
harder.
drink
Yeah.
that.
I don't though. I haven't.
You ever
I
do a
don't-
butt chug?
Well, I know Gavin sucks in air, so
Right, right. So you
if I
can
could
suck
suck
in
in
liquid.
water, I don't know. But no, I don't usually get the like. I ate this one food, so my bowels have turned it to mush and liquid, right? Like that's a big thing with people at Taco Bell, right? That's like
Right.
That's the-
It's always like I ate
one
Taco
joke.
Bell, my asshole explodes. Like I don't get that.
Me neither.
Like
I mean,
physically, I
what?
don't. That doesn't happen to me.
So no matter what you eat,
No, not no matter, but it's not like one food
Consistently
destroys
this,
me every
yeah.
single time. Like if I'm eating shit, if I'm eating a bunch of shit, it might fuck my bowels up.
See-
Or if I have a fuck ton of cheese, it'll fuck me, or dairy because I'm lactose intolerant. Then it's roll of dice. You know what I mean? Like anything could happen. But the other big one being from the East Coast is White Castle. People being like, oh, White Castle.
that's
I've
ruined me.
never had a problem
Never
with
eaten
my
White
bowels
Ruined me.
with White Castle.
It's delicious.
Beyond, like,
I
Want it.
agree,
I
yeah.
bet it
Shitting.
looks good.
But I could not tell you one for one, like, that'll make me squirt. I don't have that.
oh,
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm just saying, I squirt,
Some
but I wouldn't
people
call
squirt,
myself
some
a
people-
squirter.
okay, I see. You do
It
it.
can happen.
It can happen.
Can happen.
You just
but,
don't know
but
how
like,
to make
like
it.
Jeremy
You just
said,
don't know how to make it.
Yeah,
happen.
there's not like one food group. It's more like, oh, I'm eating a bunch of dairy. I'm gonna be screaming in pain later.
Yeah.
But even then, that doesn't tell me what sort of waste is gonna come out of me.
Right.
It could be anything.
The Cat and I like to get like this. There's a local place near us that they have this appetizer there that's basically like a loaded fries type thing. And they cover it in jalapenos.
Yeah.
And sometimes that'll fuck
their
you
water.
up, depending on how fresh the jalapenos are, right? Like it's how spicy those are.
Yeah.
And one of the times I ate it and got like hot anus so bad.
Dude,
but it
it's
was
the worst.
right after Fuckface talked about that no spicy icy thing. Do you know about that? It's like a popsicle they wanted to sit on to relieve that. And I was on stream when it hit me. And I was just in my chair like the dude
He
from
starts
Death
squirming.
Note. You know, like the dude in Death Note that like
I know exactly
squats
what
on
you're
the chair.
talking about.
I was
Yup.
like on the chair
Yup.
like that and just going, I need a no spicy icy. I need it. I was just in the middle of the stream doing
Did you
that.
take a chip
Dude,
and
a
eat it
bidet,
too?
a bidet is great for that, but the thing
Yes.
about a bidet, I'll tell you though, you gotta get it before trauma. Because like if you get like an actual like ass burn or abrasion or like a rash,
Yeah.
then it's like someone stabbing you with
Oh, I
knives.
bet.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
I
if
thought
you
you
have
meant
like
the emotional
No,
trauma.
no, I mean
Shit,
physical
Michael,
trauma.
but yes,
I mean
it's
if
a
you
lot of
have
layers of
like
trauma here,
if you
yes.
have like I've been I've been shitting so much.
need my
like,
support bidet.
you know, Gavin was always a classic. Like I've shit 3 times today. I've got raw ass.
Yeah.
You do not want to
Anus
use it
is
on
raw.
raw ass.
I've never heard
Yeah.
about a bidet doing that. See, I've always wanted
Well,
a
it's not
bidet.
the bidet. It's
the
more just
water.
like the fact if you've got like trauma on your anus, shooting something into it is incredibly painful because it's like, oh fuck, you don't usually think of that.
Michael, I feel like I know you very well, but how did your anus get traumatized? Are you
Like I
okay?
said, sometimes if you
You
just
all
like
right?
shit too much, if
Are
you
you okay?
like shit 3 times in a day,
you wiping too hard?
and your ass, I don't wipe hard at all. I use the bidet most
Maybe
of the
that's
time.
the
Yeah, it's
problem.
mostly just cleanup. You know, you let the bidet do its work, and then you know, and
just
then you
wipe with the
clean up.
water?
Well, you wipe it, and then you go. You can tell like, okay, the bidet did its job. I'm good. 1 or 2 wipes. Or you're like, oh, this is too much. Let me sit back down.
This needs another cycle.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
No, every
you do another
single
cycle.
time you talk about like which foods fuck you up. For me, I hate
Do
my
another
stomach.
cycle.
It's every single food that I eat, no matter what. I'm always gonna have like an irritable
have
tummy for a little
IBS.
bit. I might probably do. Thanks to the bidet, though, I have a 2-part process where a poo process.
Yeah.
I sit down.
Process.
Yeah. I'll go for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. And then my tummy goes, no, hang on, wait a little bit. But the bidet has to kind of like help me coax a little bit. It's
Oh,
like,
that's
hang on,
true. Yeah.
hang on.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes you go and it's like you can either leave, but you know you're not done, or you sit there for like 20
Right.
minutes.
Wait. Until
But
the
my
second-
butt's like,
bidet
you're
can
done.
sort of go
my
like,
tummy says, no, you're not.
get out of there.
I need a bidet.
You know what I
I
mean?
need a bidet.
Yeah.
We do. I
You
need
a
sit
fucking
there and
bidet.
you kind of do this, Joe. You do like
A little.
you do the Shaq like cat commercial. You know, like you do that, but imagine his ass, and the bidet might like tickle out some more
It kinda
faster.
does.
You know what I mean?
It kinda
It's kind
does.
of like when it's like a clogged drain and like you put the snake in it and then it's like it just dislodges it.
It's a water
okay,
snake,
now
yes.
this got me concerned. How far does the water go?
That's up
Further
to
than you think.
That's up
Right.
to you, man.
How much do you want to spread?
It's up to you.
up
Right.
to
You
me.
gotta open up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're just sitting there, nothing. You know, if you're kind of like getting into like a proper position where like, you know, you're opening up a little bit.
What is the proper position?
Whatever you want, man.
Is it?
It's up to you.
Do you have a
You
squatty
feel
potty
it
too,
out.
or no?
Is it?
Feel it out, man.
Is it like
Again, that's
this?
Yeah.
Naruto
want.
run,
Hands
yeah.
back, chin up.
Yes.
It depends. It depends how, you know, like what's your flavor.
Yeah. It's kind of like, have you read the Kama Sutra? It's like that, but it's your choice.
Most
of how you
bidets
wanna
too,
approach
I mean, because
it.
we just have the seat. We don't have like the whole toilet. What?
You like, Brad was emotional. Sorry, the whole toilet. I thought I was concerned for you. It's okay.
I was just swallowing.
Sorry,
It was
all right.
there.
Gavin's asshole.
Yeah, I can do it with my mouth. I can't do it with my butt.
It's a learned skill.
But like ours is electronic, so it's got options. Well, one, it's nice. It heats the water, so it's extra comfy. It's got a dryer on it. What? Yeah, and you can move the like positioning for the, which is very grateful. Or it's very helpful for different genitalia, right? Because sometimes you know it's a
They
different
have the-
spot
it's
whether you
called
want
the
it more
feminine setting?
forward or more backwards. You know, if you want to like blast your taint, you can put it in the middle.
Sometimes it's that kind of
So you
day.
got options. You know what I mean? Sometimes, dude, sometimes you just want to go in. You're just like, I don't have to take a shit, but like, I just want a little like rinse off.
A little fresh. I want to
Just
be
freshen
fresh.
up a little
Yeah.
bit. You sit
Yeah.
down.
Little
You do
spritz.
this.
Or sometimes
then
you
you
go in
leave.
there for hours like me.
What?
And he has the lock and load feature, is what I like to call it, where he says you're able to adjust the
Lock?
stream.
I don't know what
Hang
lens
on, hold on, hear me out.
What I don't
I
like,
like
is that was
We're doing it here
for a while.
It was.
We
I
were
totally forgot
lock
about
and
that.
load,
It's true.
so I'm nervous.
Listen, I like to, sometimes we can pretend like maybe we're in a Star Wars movie and we're trying to find the Death Star and we're like, there it is, lock and load, there it is, we found it,
See, I never
right
move
there.
it. I never move it.
No?
No, I just put it all the way in the back.
Michael, come on.
From my butt. The seat warmer is great. You never sit down on a cold seat. It's fucking great.
That's the thing. I've only ever used a bidet, but it was a surprise bidet. I didn't know it was there.
Oh.
Like, I'd be on
See,
a
this one
Like
ain't
a
a surprise. This one is a remote. And so
Well,
you
that's
do
the thing. It
everything
was a
on the
remote. I
wall.
was in like maybe Taiwan, I think, and like they had the remote on the side, and I was like, oh, like what? I don't know. They said one of these must be a seat warmer.
Oh.
That's what I thought. And I'm hitting the buttons, and little did I know the little robot nozzle was coming down.
Yeah, comes
The
out.
lock and load mod, yeah, right there.
And I had no idea.
It's like a little stem. It's like the little thing inside the alien's mouth.
It's exactly
Yeah, it
like
comes
that. I
out.
was not expecting the toilet to like. do
And then it
something
goes
while I'm
back
sitting
in,
there.
so you don't like poop and piss on.
The first bidet I ever met, I wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
okay.
first
Yeah.
experience with the bidet was pretty messy.
Okay. For you or the bidet?
Go on.
Who is messy?
Well, so I think I must have, I don't know how old I must have been. I was young.
Okay.
And so I didn't really quite fill up the toilet seat yet. But I also didn't know how
Oh,
to like.
well, you physically, you're like your
Yeah,
bum.
yeah. But I didn't also know how to use it.
Uh-huh.
So I used it.
Right.
And the water just shot.
Like behind you and over
Behind
you
me
or
and
something?
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
But it like skimmed my back. So
Sure,
it
sure,
was- like I came out
amazing.
Of the bath, I came out of the
See, I'm,
bathroom.
I'm glad you had that happen.
I've yet to have that happen.
No, as an adult, I have heard about that happening, so I just had one day where I went, fuck it. And I stepped up off the toilet just to see it go, and I went,
What?
Okay, that's what happens. And I washed it up,
Sometimes
cleaned it
you
up.
need to know.
Yeah.
Is the
now I
water
know.
in a bidet clean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you drink it?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sure you
I'm sure
can.
you can also drink toilet water if
Right.
you want it.
It's,
yeah.
it's. I mean, like again, toilet water's clean to an extent of the
Because
like.
it's
I mean,
just the
it's
stuff in
sitting
the
in the
tank,
toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're
Joe.
asking if they're shooting shit and piss water,
No, not
I-
shit
no.
and piss water. I'm just saying, like, you know.
Well, I mean, it's the
the
same
normal-
water that comes out of your.
What if someone
is
comes to your house? They don't know how to use a bidet.
I'm just saying, it's the
They
same
also
water
don't
that
know
comes
what
out of
a
your
They could say
sink.
a water
You just
fountain
have
in the toilet.
one-
You never know. You open it. You okay? I'm just drinking some water.
Well, I will say.
Bubbler.
Well, I will say, ours, and I assume most electronic ones, there's a sensor. You got to be sitting on it for it to work. So
Okay.
that's nice.
Okay.
So especially like if our kid
See,
comes
my
in
grandparents
and
had
pushes
the old
buttons,
one.
it won't blast off.
Old Toto
It
toilet.
must sense booty on the rim for
Right.
it to activate.
Now, Joe's got me thinking, though. I don't want to be the one to do it. I just want one person to test that theory of, like, can you stand there and catch, like, kind of like a water fountain, I guess, little quick spurts. Like,
I mean,
thank you,
yes, I'm
done.
sure you can. I don't know why you'd do that though.
That's,
Science.
exactly.
You have to really
If-
line up the exact angle first.
True.
Right.
Also, I feel like if a celebrity patented that and they made it a cool thing, everybody would be doing that. Not only for science, it'd become
think
fashionable.
so.
Yeah.
Bidet water fountain.
I think in most situations the toilet's in a bathroom and they would just use that technology on the sink and not the toilet. That's what I think.
You make a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also true.
If you found a bidet in the middle of the desert with no bathroom, I would agree with you. Like no sink, but it just seems unnecessary at that point when it's like there's a faucet over there.
Here's the
Also-
thing.
I'd
We
go to
market
the
it as
toilet.
fancy. Sink, what a lame word. Bidet.
Bidet.
Hang on, that sounds
French.
fancy. Exactly. I'm sorry, have you drank
call it a
bidet?
Do you-
You have not lived.
Is it a Massachusetts thing to call a water fountain a bubbler?
I think so.
You know,
So you said that
Yes, I
earlier,
never
and I thought
called
you were
it.
talking about like a pipe, like a.
No,
'cause I know
no.
it's like
I
a
never
like
called
a
That was a
hookah.
water
Yeah.
fountain. It was
Okay.
like you would say that as a kid, like you know, the schools they have the
It was
water.
always
You'd be like,
just
"Can I go to the bubbler?" Like, yeah, you need
See, on the
water.
West Coast,
okay.
they call it a Badissi.
Stop.
I didn't even
Stop it.
A water fountain
Get out.
or
Stop.
a bidet?
Get out. To the Omega verse
Stop
with you.
that.
This is why you're dying.
What the fuck?
Comments like that.
This is why. I had to retrain myself to do Massachusetts terms now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
can,
yeah?
Untrained.
Can you educate us, please? If-
He just did.
Well,
I'm a
like,
simple Texan.
Bubblers, it doesn't
Jimmy's.
come. People
I
don't
know
use
Jimmy's.
bubblers anymore. COVID and everything. That's
Right.
like that's the epicenter right there.
Right.
Those-
Well, now I mean most
they're wicked
places,
infected,
most
right?
places
Yeah.
that again in any sort of current, like anyone that's keeping up with the times too, you get the water bottle like stations.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's amazing.
Those are awesome.
Those are cool.
You just put it there and it fucking fills up. Like Austin Airport has one every 7 feet. I
Yeah,
love it.
Great. But the biggest one was roundabout. I had to get used to again because it's actually on signs. that they call it a roundabout in most places, but not in Massachusetts. It's called a rotary.
Oh.
Oh, that's
So all the signs say rotary up ahead. So if you're from anywhere else, you're like, what the hell was a rotary?
But like, do you start turning and then get pulled back? Because I don't.
Like a rotary phone, yeah.
The rotary phone
Yeah.
goes,
Right, yeah. Rotary ahead and stuff like that.
Yeah, they just place those on top of like Earth's most random electromagnetic field.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of it's just nothing.
It's just
Oh
a
my
giant
God.
circle. Like, oh well,
They're very
call it
specific
a rotary.
tectonic plates.
Yeah, and
that
so
move as
when you drive on
over
it,
them.
it takes you
get pulled
5 minutes
backwards.
to
Yeah.
around the whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, rotary took some getting.
That's- I
Packy,
feel
get.
like that's-
Packies are liquor stores.
I feel like rotary is like you just want to be different.
It really is.
There's nothing
'cause
wrong
it's
with
nowhere
roundabout.
else. Everywhere else calls it a roundabout. Everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like, here it's a rotary.
What's another Massachusetts term that you don't think is popular?
Like Packies is those are liquor stores.
Jimmy's.
Jimmy's or Sprinkles. Like if you get an ice cream with sprinkles on it, they're
Call
called
them
Jimmy's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
See that is
That one
a
is-
thing
is-
in Jersey. Cause like I knew of it to go like.
Wait.
I'm not fucking calling it that, right?
Is that
Like
why,
rotary, I never heard of.
Right.
Is that why Jimmy Neutron's hair looks like a fucking ice cream cone?
I
No,
don't.
I don't think so.
I don't
Because
believe so.
Maybe.
Jimmy's go on.
I like
his
your
head?
thinking.
I
Yes.
think his name
On
was
soft serve.
I think it's-
Oh, I love your
Jimmy.
conspiracy theories.
Oh
yes.
my God. The creators of Jimmy Neutron must be from Massachusetts.
Must be.
I knew it.
That one's a bit more spread out than that, I think.
It's when one of
Jimmy's.
I like how international is the ice cream chain Brigham's. Have you heard of Brigham's?
I've not, no.
Then not very international.
I know
Okay, got it.
Carvel.
So that's like a Northeast thing. But they had an ice cream called Just Jimmy's.
Whoa.
Just like an ice cream with all of it.
Oh,
filled
I
in
love
there.
that.
But
That sounds
this
good.
is just Jimmy's no ice cream? Is it just a couple
No,
sprinkles?
it's just vanilla ice cream with sprinkles all
Okay,
mixed
so it's
in.
not just Jimmy's.
No, it's
a lie.
literally the name itself is a farce.
It's a fucking
yeah.
lie.
Everything about it is wrong.
Hey, what the fuck is this in my Just Jimmy's? That's ice cream, sir. I'll
Yeah.
kill you.
And there's others that have gone out of style that people don't say anymore. Pissa
Like
used
what?
to mean cool.
Pissa, yeah, I've heard
Pissa.
that,
If something
yeah.
was wicked pissa, it was very cool.
But that's like, that makes me think of all the like movies set in Boston from the early 2000s.
People will still do it. Yeah, if they're like, do a Boston accent, like, oh, wicked pissa.
Wicked Pissa, yeah.
Wicked
Okay,
pissa.
cool.
It's like, shut up.
Send
no
them
one
out,
says- no one says that
Something,
anymore.
something Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and that's since I've been spending a lot of time with my dad, I'm getting some
Donkey
of the
Does.
stuff back. Because
Yeah.
he talks like really.
Well, it's not only it's you're getting it back from being there, but also your dad being, from a generation with that shit being way more prevalent.
Yes.
Right.
So he's like a source of it.
And I just keep trying. So he keeps telling me that he's retiring this year, and it's just gonna give me more time to mess with him. I just love messing with him. Like I said, we were at a wedding a couple of days ago, and we sat down, and there was a little plate in front of us on the table with a perfectly cut triangle of butter on it. So like when rolls showed up eventually, but it looked just like a thing of cheese. So I immediately texted my dad. Did you try the cheese yet? He was at another table, and I was like, the cheese is really good.
Awesome.
Like I need to know what it is. Like, and I texted him, and even I knew he might come by, and also I wanted to try to fool my sister as well. So I took a fork and I made like a bite indentation out of it, like I had taken a bite of it. He texted me back, clearly saw through what I was doing, and texted me back, "Oh wow, it really is cheese. It's very good," or something like that.
I love it.
Yeah, like it was literally that. Like,
It's fun.
ooh, it really is cheese.
I love that because that's also something I would do to my mother. And one,
Got
thank
you.
you. One, she would be way easier to trick. But two, I would bite it in front of her, knowing it's butter.
She
to
would
sell
eat it.
Yeah.
yes.
I'd be like,
Sometimes you have
"Oh, this
to
is
do
good
that.
cheese."
It would be in Denise's mouth, and she goes,
She'd
"This
be like,
isn't
she'd go,
cheese."
"You fucking liar."
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad did that. My sister is notorious for being that. Like, you can fool her if
cool.
you need to. And I was on vacation with my parents and my sister, and I don't know if you've ever had papaya, like just the fruit, like just pieces of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has a really bad flavor to it. I mean, it's not as sweet as a lot of other fruits.
No.
It's kind of
It's like honeydew in that way, I guess.
yeah,
kinda,
but it's
yeah.
more bitter too, and it's
Yeah.
like it
I
just
feel you.
wasn't great. We tried it.
Eating a lime wedge.
yeah.
No, I'm not that bad. But we tried it. We really did not like it. My sister in particular hated it. And the next day we go down for we're sitting together at breakfast, and there's some papaya, and my dad goes up and grabs a bunch of it, and he sits down at the table, and he takes a piece of it, eats it, and looks at my sister and goes, "Oh, we must have had a bad one yesterday." because this is like really good. This is super sweet. I guess the one yesterday was bad. And she was like, oh, like really? It what? And she reaches in, and as she's reaching in, my dad just looks at me and goes, like that. And I knew right away. I was like, this man.
I do that.
This man got her.
I do that in the office when I'm doing something. I'm telling Sarah something, and then she goes to do it. I'll turn to anyone who's closest and say, "Watch this."
I'm usually just shaking my head. Like,
Yeah, no, like once it's been sold and Sarah signs it, like signs the package, you know, like I accept delivery and I see her walking off, I'll just go like, watch what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, yeah, you liar.
There's a watch this story with you. I can't wait to tell at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Look what I can do.
It's
Oh,
for
goodness.
a production that isn't out yet, but
Okay,
Michael
we'll wait.
saying, look,
It's true.
Look what I
It's true. That's one of my favorites in recent history.
which may or may not make it to air.
Oh, I'm sure it won't.
It won't.
I'm sure it
We
won't,
have-
but,
yeah,
but
so
we'll
have
still
to tell
mention
the
it.
story.
We'll give it life, though.
Yeah.
But right now, let's take a moment to hear from our sponsors. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. People don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. And let's not forget about doom scrolling, sleeping too little, sleeping too much, undereating, and overeating. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways, and it never really is the same for two people. And in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here's your reminder to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. Off-Topic listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/offtopic. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by 30 Morbid Minutes. Do you ever find yourself awake in the middle of the night reading real-life stories that make your skin crawl? The creepy history behind Victorian nursery rhymes, or tales of sleep paralysis demons. Perhaps you've seen the haunting images of corpses on Mount Everest, read the last meal requests of death row prisoners, or experimented with seances and spirit boards. If you've ever wondered, hey, what the heck exactly is necrocannibalism? Then 30 Morbid Minutes is the new podcast for you. Hosted by Elise Willems and Jessica Fasami, each episode investigates a new topic ranging from macabre to morbid to downright creepy, sourced straight from history and the headlines of today. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes every Tuesday and Mondays for first RT members. It's Tuesday, and then it's on Monday for first members. That's what I said. 30 Morbid Minutes. Hi, Michael here. I see that you still haven't signed up for first because you wouldn't get this ad if you did, okay? But not just that. If you haven't heard about what we got over on the RT site, you're missing out, okay? You can make a free account and watch live shows and participate with the community, but you sign up for first, there's even more stuff you get, okay? Like a discount in our store, access to events early, like RTX, and you get access to shows early. Plus, some shows that are just exclusive for you, like Hardcore Tabletop, Haunter, Last Laugh, and our latest show, Survive Block Island. The first 4 episodes of Survive Block Island are out right now on the site, and it's wild to say the least. It's a competition full of deception, strategy, and challenges that all take place in the game of Minecraft. Not scripted, by the way. So head on over to roosterteeth.com/sign up to make a free Rooster Teeth account, and be sure to check out our first program to access all the things we have to offer. And as a personal thank you just to me, like that you'll be like if you sign up, you're like saying, thanks, Michael, this is for you. And I'll do this. Ready? I'll go.
No.
Unless you're a first member.
Oh.
And now it's done. So
It was brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Right?
See?
They put 'em in after.
Do you see?
Good.
They put them in after, but also if you're a first member, nothing happens.
I was about to do all the hand thing I used to do during it.
No.
Sorry, friend.
No. They put them in after, and also, like, again, if you're first, you don't even see that part. So I
We
just
can
say,
redo it.
I just look like a fool.
Well, aren't you special?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I was looking at the wrong camera.
Yeah.
If I can
that's
ask,
fine.
going back to talking about remembering terms from Boston from your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
are you planning on growing your accent again? regaining its
I'm not
strength.
fighting it anymore.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. I mean, I don't want to speak for
Boston.
anyone. I have like
Boston.
a little bit of a
No,
Texan
Boston
accent.
is more like
Boston.
Yeah, there you go.
Boston. It's more like Boston.
Boston.
Fast.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
just add
yeah.
as and stuff.
The
It looks
entire
sick,
East
bro.
Coast sounds very similar when you're not from there or there.
Yes.
It's all just a lot
You
of
all sound like that.
And when you go
But when
outside
you're
of it and
there-
you actually hear it, you realize how like unattractive anything
Right.
is.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Well,
that there.
You say that recently, wasn't it? I think it was like 2 years ago. The Boston accent was labeled the sexiest accent
Yeah,
in the
by
U.S.
who? By Boston.
Boston
Voters, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking
over the
sexy,
survey.
dude. Bro, this accent's fucking sexy, bro.
I'm sorry, Joey Wheeler got me with that one. So,
Right, but again, that's
Wicked hot.
But man, if you're from
Brooklyn
there though,
range.
it's so different.
Yeah.
And then you hate everyone else for where they live, for how they sound, for
I did.
how
Sorry,
their
you made me
place
laugh.
is worse than your place.
Oh.
It's a lot of too, like you say, you know, I think of like New York, New Jersey is a big one. It's not even usually like New Jersey's better because XYZ. It's New York sucks. You know what I mean? It's more putting down the other place than elevating your own.
It's same with the Boston, New York thing.
Oh, I mean all of it, right? But then like what's funny is how so fucking similar it all is. It's so insane. Like you're arguing percentages, but there, growing up there, that it's night and day. It's like New Jersey's nothing like New York, right? Then you go, fuck Texas, 2 states away, and it's like, what's the difference? It's the same.
It's exactly the same.
And so it's funny when I run into people now, being in Texas for 10 years, that are like from New York, and they'll start talking about that, like, oh, you're from New Jersey, I'm from New York, and I'll be like, oh, you sweet summer child. Like, it's all the same, dude. It doesn't. I know you still live there, and you think it's different. It's not.
You're not
No,
as heavily
it's-
involved anymore, but I do like watching people from the East Coast get together, like kind of rib each other about the different parts of the East Coast that they're from, and then form a united front against anyone else who talks shit about the East Coast. They're like, fuck you.
See, that's not a thing. That's not a thing in the East Coast.
Right.
It's only when you leave.
Right, then
They
you
all
have
hate
to band
each other.
together.
They all hate each
Enemy
other.
by enemy. Yeah.
But like I was even here 5 years, and then when shut up. And then when Jeremy showed up, I'm like, never in my life living in New Jersey would I be like, oh, Massachusetts, that's where I'm from. But
Yeah.
in Texas for 5 years, I was like,
You're basically
oh,
the same
Jeremy's from where I'm from.
It's essentially the
It's
same.
essentially so similar.
I was thinking in my head, I'm like, if I had to describe to someone who had never been to the East Coast or the South in general, the difference between the two, it's like this. If you're in the South, someone says hello to you, they'll be like, howdy.
Yeah.
And then they'll kind of go, maybe they'll ask you about your day. If you're on the East Coast, my experience is like this. They open their doors and they go, ow!
Well, okay. Depending on how well you know the person.
Fuck you.
Or nothing.
No, yeah, see, that's a misconception, Joe. They won't go out of their way to say fuck you. They just won't talk to you.
Right. If they, okay, and that, like that
They just
means
make
I
noise.
know you. You are a friend. You are
Right.
a friend usually. Or you're actively annoying me. One of those two.
Yes.
Then,
Right.
if you don't know them at all, nothing. You
Right.
just you pretend they don't exist.
Right.
If you are aware of them and like you might know them, you might give one of these.
Little nod.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
You just see them and go,
I still do that.
Well, then there's also, again, I learned about this. Am I wrong, Jeremy? You also told me you do this. Is the check behind you, got your hands in your pockets, someone's walking behind you, you go a little,
yep, that's
up?
to just make them aware that you know that they're not going to sneak up on you. You know they're there. You're not like acknowledging them as a human. You're acknowledging them as like a presence.
Like, don't fuck
as,
with me.
Yeah, don't fuck with me.
Yes.
Like it's you going like this. That just means I know you're behind me.
Oh.
So like,
I've only been in the East Coast one time.
yeah. So
And I
don't
was
run up
in-
on me and try to rob me
And I
because
was
I
in
know you're
Yeah.
there.
Maryland. So
I'll punch you in the crotch.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm
not
aware.
the same as like being in New York.
I had to get,
No,
I
it's
had to
pretty
get used
close.
to not doing that because I would do it in Texas, and people would be like, does he want to say hi? And I'm like, no, I'm just saying, no. It's the
not at
opposite
all.
of what I'm doing.
Texas, yeah, they'll be like, oh, hey, he keeps looking at us. Maybe he wants a friendly hello. Or he'll be
Incorrect.
like, check that man. He seems scary. Very scary.
Yeah, no. I don't think I'm the scary guy. People,
You're not. You're
Kat
not.
has noticed, like, often now when we go out to places, people just enjoy talking to me that don't know me. People are always coming up to me and starting conversations with me, and I'm like, I don't know you.
Right.
And they just like want to talk to me about
Right.
stuff.
Right. I'm
Okay.
more speaking about like people in Texas usually don't like put their hands in their pockets and like
Oh,
go,
no,
don't
exactly. Yeah,
talk to
my
me.
Well, no,
Yes.
but the other thing,
Yes,
the other
you are
thing
very
too
friendly.
is the other thing I feel like, which is an East Coast mentality, is like staring at people just because you're looking at something, and then if the other person looks back at you, you feel no need to avert your eyes.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh shit, I made eye contact with that person, or like, is that person
You're
trying
like,
to
I'm here.
I could just be like sitting, like, I don't know Joe, we're at an airport, I'm just looking this way, and he turns and looks at me, and we'll just be looking at each other. And it's like, that doesn't, and then someone will go look at something else, but it's not like, oh.
Yeah.
That was
my God.
awkward. And it's just like, look, I feel like the mentality is like, I gotta look somewhere.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
The number of times I've made eye contact in the South, and then we both go, oh, well, we're dancing.
You either have to look away or then you
Yep.
have to
Worse.
engage. You know what I mean?
I'm uncomfortable.
I
with
stare at
with
people
staring
so
at people.
often where it's just like, I'll just be looking at something and they'll look back, and then usually someone just goes, and then they turn back around, and that was my whole life growing up.
Yeah.
And now, here, it's like someone's gonna come talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we've made eye contact. Well, I'll start.
We're a bunch of
No,
lost
you can
souls
stay where you are.
down here.
You can stay over there.
Now, what's
Yeah.
Colorado like? Can we?
Yeah.
What are what's the
dive into
what are the
that.
stereotypes?
Yeah, you and Sarah.
It's true.
Well,
High in skiing.
first of all, what's
the 303
the
like?
thing with Sarah and
She's
or
from
Col-
Colorado.
Colorado.
Colorado. That's
Colorado.
nothing. I'm just saying I like that Joe is from the same place as Sarah, so I constantly compare him to Sarah now.
Well,
Where I'm
yeah,
just
well,
like two Coloradoans.
Colorado doesn't have much.
Really selling it.
Just doesn't have much.
They got
Go
special.
on.
They got like special grass there
Oh.
And trees, I hear.
and trees. There's a lot of snow. Everyone's pretty kind. Everyone was really nice until we legalized weed, and then everyone from Texas, California, and Florida started coming to our state.
Yeah, that is
Colorado. The big three.
Well, why from California? It's legal there too.
It wasn't legal there when,
Oh, okay.
at
I
first,
just feel like
right?
they should know.
But also,
You can buy it in California.
yeah. So now everyone there's still pretty friendly.
Right.
Drivers suck.
Right. But shouldn't everyone still be nice if they're all high?
Yeah.
Or is it like paranoid?
They're even higher.
They're working on
High.
mellowing out.
Yeah.
Worried.
Maybe they're too high because Colorado is already the mile high city, so it's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Oh, dude,
like,
it's up there.
You know how like there's haze in like the West Coast, like just in California. They have that in Colorado, but it's literally just everyone getting high.
Dude, he's not kidding. I was in Colorado when we did the Face Jam thing a couple months ago, and everywhere just smells like weed. Like everywhere.
Nice.
You just walk around and but it's like someone pumping air freshener into the city. Right? Like when you're outside smelling something, it's like, man, someone's enjoying themselves at every point,
You're not
somewhere nearby.
It's all the dispensaries there.
Yeah.
So like I used to work at a dispensary.
Whoa.
when I was there for a warehouse, and there are so many that you just don't even like. You can look at that building, you won't even know that there are like 300 plants growing in there or some shit. And it's just like, so everywhere smells like weed because they're all venting.
well, not until I pull up my thermal vision. Like, God.
Damn. A helicopter. We got one.
Why
right
would
there.
you do that though?
Those are like,
So then you can go buy some.
Exactly.
Okay.
There it
Just look
is.
at you, just
You
shot
can
I
just
need more,
Google
please.
it.
oh no, there's nothing really special about Colorado.
Damn.
The nature's nice.
It's pretty when
Gorgeous
it's not
You said you
snowing,
like
it's pretty
snowboarding
decent
and stuff,
weather
yeah?
though, right?
When it's not snowing, it's just it's
It's
very.
not like a
very
shitty,
mellow.
like really hot, really cold.
It's really hot, but it's dry, so it doesn't feel the
okay.
same as like here when it gets really hot and it's humid, where you're just like sticky and sweaty all the time. Whereas in Colorado, it's just like I need water. That's just how it feels.
For sure. And obviously, like, you know, it comes from a place of privilege to say, like, you enjoy skiing or snowboarding. That's expensive shit. But I would see that as a benefit.
I've only done
You
it.
like
I've only done it a couple times, mainly because it is expensive.
Yeah. Well, what you can also do is though take like a Sonic approach and just grab like a piece of metal and
There
then
you go.
snowboard on that.
Yeah.
Or a child.
Down a local
Fight.
hill.
Yeah, and then you fight
Yeah,
Knuckles.
that was my thing as a kid, was just sledding, like finding a random
same.
hill.
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
You could
totally.
essentially get a big trash can lid.
Yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
say a big
yeah.
lid.
Yeah. And then you fucking go down a hill.
Yeah, you don't even need like a proper.
and then you go, once you take off, you go, I can't stop. And you hope
You
don't
grab
hit a
the
fucking
handle
tree or
of the
something.
lid and pull up,
my
and then
friends
just rip it out from under you.
used to use a fucking like
like
snowboard
ripcord.
with no bindings on it that we found in someone's trash, and like that's what we used to go
Yeah.
down.
I mean, it was literally just like lids to stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even the ones they sold as, you wouldn't even call them a sled because they're not
Saucers.
sleds. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
just be like Oh, this is like the top of one of those turtle sandboxes. Someone flipped it upside down, and then they just put 2 handles on the side and sold it for $10.
Yeah.
That was the good version, and not I grabbed something and I'm sitting in it.
Right.
That's what we did.
The only difference is it was smooth. That was it.
Yeah. It wasn't
I have a
lumpy.
handful of memories from my childhood when it snowed, so I'm trying to bond with y'all here. Did y'all ever do cardboard? Because my dad would just like throw us a cardboard box and be like,
Cardboard
break
works.
it down.
It works.
No, I never
It
did
works for a
cardboard.
little bit, and then once it starts
It's gonna
getting
get all
really
wet.
soggy, it like
I mean,
when
plastic.
you're
That's
going
when it's time to go
down,
in.
it'll
I also
rip away.
I also like the idea of not only the few times it snowed in Texas, but it's so fucking flat. Like I don't.
No hills.
Right.
I
no
lived-
somewhere you
no
can
hills.
go.
I lived on top of a hill
I
at
could
my
go
house.
anywhere and there was a fucking hill.
My house had a small hill, okay? And I would just like go into my neighbor's yard and start.
It's like
over
literally not my street, but both streets like intersecting with my street went up. Like
Yeah.
at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, yeah.
You could just go there. But that was even it. It was a fucking street. We wouldn't go to like a hill.
Oh, I would go
We
to
would
a-
just
yeah.
go down the fucking road.
Yeah.
No, we
Hope
had
a
a hill,
car doesn't
yeah.
come.
In Texas, the closest you're gonna get is like under the bridges with the
You're not wrong, okay?
Where there is no snow.
I haven't
because
seen
it's
that
under a
bridge
bridge.
yet, by the way.
Oh,
That-
Bat Bridge?
Bat Bridge.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that's a good
it's
one.
a good
Yeah.
time.
Go down the hill in the thing, and then you hold onto a bat, and then it's like Banjo-Kazooie. Actually, it's more like ukulele because that's a bat, and then maybe
No, they
like, you'll
swarm
get a little
around you
flutter.
and then you get powers. It's
Yeah,
pretty
you
cool.
turn into Batman or Morbius. You want Batman because if you're Morbius, no one
wanna
watches
turn
you
it-
and you don't make any money.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to turn into a Cullen.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You want to sparkle?
Sparkle.
Yeah, you're gonna be very specific
Twilight.
about which
Yeah.
one.
I don't know what you were
Yeah.
saying.
Wanna turn into a
Edward
Cullen.
Cullen.
Also,
Yeah.
can we not talk shit about the drainage pipe I played in as a child? Because I had some prime TMNT memories in
it
there.
is shit.
Okay?
If it was a
I mean,
drainage
that's
pipe.
literally
Yeah.
what it
I
is.
just laughed.
It is.
No, Joe
It
pointed
is
that out. I was
shit.
like, it's so true. Like Texas kids absolutely are like, that's a
Brigade,
sewer. Let's hop in
Typical
and play.
Brigade.
Yay.
I didn't go in sewers.
No?
I wasn't a sewer.
I never went in sewers, but I did run around in like those like runoffs. Like I don't even know what the fuck they are as an adult. It was just like a place where you could run around in water as a kid, and it was like people would always take their bikes and fucking skateboards in it and shit because it was 2 big fucking slopes,
Oh,
and it would
nice.
just go through like the city, like it was like a suburb, but. It was some sort of runoff for
Like the ones in GTA.
Like yes, like the
We
ones
know
in GTA.
exactly what we're talking
Exactly,
about.
like the
So
ones in
like
GTA.
storm drain.
Like
runoff.
storm drain
Yeah, yeah,
runoffs and
okay.
shit, right? So not like sewers, and they were smaller, but basically yes, because they were sloped the entire way, and then even when there would be like, there'd be a part where there'd be like a road or something over it, obviously, because it couldn't be like open forever. It was just like big enough where you could like go under it, and sometimes your bike would like scrape the ceiling, like, because it would be like a couple feet tall, and so you'd be riding under it, and it would go down and up, so you could be racing through it, and then it would just drop like 2 feet, and so if you're going really fast on your bike, you would just do like these like gravity-defying drops, where you wouldn't so much follow it down, you would just be riding your bike, and then your bike would just keep going straight for a little bit, like a cartoon, and then you'd fall and hit the ground, and someone would fall off their bike. We played a lot in those.
Get tetanus.
Well, no, I mean, there was no metal.
Oh,
you need
thank
metal
goodness.
to get tetanus.
You need rust.
You weren't
was
playing
all-
in the same sewers as I was.
Again,
so.
it wasn't a sewer, and it was all like concrete. It was. And it was I could see, yeah, I could see the sky. You would just go out and then be like there was one right next to the elementary school, and kids would just like go up and down on their bikes and shit.
No, we had a few of those too, but I know like growing up also, there was a big thing where they're like, you shouldn't play in those as a kid because, I mean, if it starts raining, there's immediately like flood warnings. And like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or, like as a kid, you're like, fuck
Start
off.
swimming.
Well, now as a parent, I'm like, please don't play in that. Don't do
No.
what I did. Don't
Do
that.
what I did. See, I'm gonna enforce do what I did.
But better.
You know.
If you
No,
lived,
not
they could live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had no one telling me do it with guidance, right? Like theoretically, my kids can do it better than me. Because I'll be like, do it, but here's some tips.
Well, we're also children
get
of the
tips.
90s, so
Yeah.
we grew up, I think, with the mentality of like,
Joe.
go outside,
I mean, I'm in
get
the
fucked up.
90s.
Yeah, you count.
It really was
It's
go
okay.
outside, get fucked
up,
yeah.
and then come back at like 6 o'clock, and you'll have dinner. It's fine.
Yeah, literally.
Somewhere around there.
It was literally that. Like, I think about that now. It's not like, it was never, you know, where are you going? What do you like? Stuff like that. It was just like, yeah, I'm going out with my friends, and
Yeah.
be like, yeah, be back by dinner.
Pretty
And I
much.
go, okay.
Are you
It's
in the
so weird
neighborhood?
that you don't
Yeah.
see that. With
You don't see that anymore.
People anymore, like with kids. Like no one really hangs outside of their house. No one, like you don't
Yeah.
see kids on their bike.
Or like not
my
monitored in any way. It's just like, here's your bike.
Yeah.
Oh, I sure do. In my neighborhood.
Well, we do have one family where I'm like,
Dude, there's like kids out, and then there's like, that kid's 4. Where is someone?
Or there's like a 2-year-old.
And like
where
they're
is your
like
mother?
out front, like on the sidewalk, like even beyond their front lawn. And I'm just going, I guess that kid lives there? This kid's so small. I'm like, hello? I just like look around for anyone anywhere.
Right. I have to like have the balance in my head. I'm like, I don't want to turn into like, I don't want to be basically like a Karen and be like, excuse me, your kids are in the street. I'm like, I almost hate your 2-year-old, and you're just like no parents here
When you
at
know,
all.
there's like people not watching their kids, and then there's where are they?
Yeah.
Where are like
I cannot see a parent.
Like
Yeah.
like sometimes people will be like, I can see they're like in their garage and their garage door's open and their kids
Yeah,
like
that's-
fucking around
that's fine.
outside, and it's like, oh, they're not watching their kid, but I can see the parent not watching their kid, and then sometimes you just go, are you lost or do you live here? I don't know. And then I keep driving.
You don't
Ain't
live
my
here.
problem.
Our next door
Goodness.
neighbors have a couple really little kids, and like, you know, I see them out in the yard all the time, but yeah, the parents are always right there, and
Sure.
because I mean, like, you know, I live on like a curve, and their house is like right after that curve. So if the kids are in
That's
the
a
street,
blind,
it's like, yeah, it's like a total blind curve. But one of the things I love is they have a lot of little, like cars, the little electric cars that they drive around. They have a lot of them, and the little boy that lives there has like a little convertible. It's like a tiny convertible Mustang, and then I drive a convertible Mustang. So I'll like come by every now and again. We'll see each other, and I'll stop out in front of the house, and he'll be like this in this little car, and he'll look at me, and he'll go,
Nice.
and I'll go.
That must be like the coolest part of that kid's
you
day.
ever
He must
trade?
think it's awesome.
Yeah. His dad's got, I forget what car his dad has. He's got a really nice car too, though. He's got like a Porsche or something. I'm like, oh.
But even like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, when you were riding around on your bike and shit and your parents weren't watching you, it was like, I wasn't like 3, I was like 10-ish?
Yeah.
Like somewhere, that's
For me,
okay.
it was, I guess, started around like
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. like
Yeah.
around 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, was like, we don't give a fuck.
But even then, I still think it's kind of weird to be like,
You're not wrong. People are more conscious of that now,
yeah,
I think. Yeah.
to be like, yeah, we'll find you again later. Like, I don't even have a
Yes.
phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're talking about no phones, like,
Yeah.
no cell phone.
I had a bike
You
and
were
a
just
prayer, and that
gone.
was it.
Yeah, and you had to remember which way you took to leave your house. Like if you were.
Oh, all that
I
shit.
burped
Yeah.
and it was bad.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa.
Nice, nice. The only thing I got is if it were
That's a
like
time bomb.
later
Put
at
that
Good
night.
Lord.
And I think mostly it was to make sure I wasn't lying and not so much safety. Even then, didn't work. Would be like, oh, I'm going to so-and-so's house. And they'd be like, call me when you get there. So they can see it on caller ID. Like, we got proof that you're there. Then, of course, you turn around and leave right after you call
Yeah.
because there'd be no checkup.
My parents didn't even ask for that.
It wouldn't be like, well, we're going to call later. It's like, yeah, I'm at so-and-so's house. I'm sleeping over. Like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, cool, let's go out. And
Yeah.
then we'd go out. Because then we tell their parents we're going to somebody else's house, and then the lie is complete, and we do whatever we want. But yeah, it's crazy now. Like, not only can you get in contact with somebody at all times with phones, right? Even that, like, we didn't have. Like, I didn't get. I mean, they were around, but I didn't get a phone until I was like 19. Even then, it was just a phone. Now it's like, bro, I can pull up a fucking satellite and find out where you are.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
really
Like,
can.
oh, you are? Fuck you. But then also, you can do it now. You're thinking about,
you.
you can do it now. Think about in the next 10 years. It's like, I'm like, ha, I see where you are. And my kid's like, ha, idiot, I'm using a spoof. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like there's no way I'm not going to be fooled by a newer technology that I inevitably don't understand or know exists.
Right.
Where my kids
Oh, that's my hollow kid. I thought
dude,
it was-
it's going to be the 2030 version of I went to my friend's house, then called for the caller ID, and then left. It's going to be like, oh, I created this app to spoof my phone and
Yeah.
create a hologram of myself and have an auto recording to trick my dumbass father.
It's like AI.
And I'll be like, God, I'm not getting tricked like my parents.
I guess the
It won't
equivalent of
fool
that.
me.
The equivalent of that for early 2000s kids is I had this clueless phone. I don't know if y'all ever had like early voice modulators for phones that were so crappy and clunky.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys can pull up a photo, Tyler, if you want to look it up. But it was
Doesn't
a headset. He will. He'll do it because I said so.
Bored.
Nicely.
What is he listening to this? Come on.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, come on.
you asked, you didn't say so.
please? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm cordial.
No,
Anyway,
you said if you want, and
Yeah.
his answer is going to be no. You should ask.
if you may.
Hey, can you look this up for me?
You just go,
Thanks.
Brian.
Clueless
Yeah,
phone?
Brian went.
Yeah.
Clueless phone?
Yes.
Question mark?
Okay, so I had this phone,
Yeah.
and the whole point of it was like it was from the movie Clueless, and like there were little quotes on it, and you could push a button and be like, wow, like as if, and you're like, oh, that's so fucking cool. But part of it was you could change your voice. So as a loser kid, I would call people and change my voice. I'm like, tee, they have no idea it's me, and I'd be like, hello, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
one.
So now I feel like that's, very, very faux pas technology, but at the time it was like super awesome and
Faux
revolutionary.
pas?
Yeah, or like
That's the
blasé, I
right
guess.
word.
I don't know.
I think
yeah,
it's
sure.
a piece of shit.
Yes,
the word
that's
you're
what I'm going
looking
for.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's like
faux
whatever.
pas.
I don't know, sure.
Faux pas is like.
I only speak Spanish. Listen.
Bidet.
Yeah,
that
thank
means
you.
fake dad.
I don't know
faux pas.
French.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's the AI. Oh no.
2030 will all have fake dads.
For
Why
me,
does your faux pas?
for me, like where I lived and like the pieces of shit I hung out with, in the age range of being like 13, 14, and like 2000, 2001, that was fucking soundboards, especially like the Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard, which would just, you'd call someone and just like, again, it was like put your phone up to the speaker of your computer. There was no science.
them on
to it.
a white
They were
team
like,
indeed.
who is your daddy and what does he do? It was like, I'm a cop, you idiot. I'm a cop, you idiot. And you just keep doing that. And it was so lowbrow, but like that was technology. Like, bro, I push a button and it's a line from a movie. What's the matter, CIA? Got you pushing too many pencils? Fucking that shit is burned into my brain because you just go through them.
Now with that, not the soundboard, but with the changing voice modulation too, do y'all remember when caller ID became a thing?
I mean, like I don't remember specifically. There's
I
the
do.
phone.
Yeah,
But I
that's
remember.
what I had.
remember it being like, oh my God, you can know now.
Yeah.
Because first it was a little box you had to buy.
Eavesdropper
It was even.
detector.
It was even.
Oh yeah,
before,
you could listen in and hear what your parents were talking about.
It was even. It was even before like phones would have the display. You had to buy the little box, like caller
yeah.
ID box, and then you'd read that and you'd go, I don't know this number.
I just remember a sign of the times with that thing. I was a punk little kid. I'd call my friends, families. I'm sure they knew it was me when they were like, God damn it, like Lindsay's calling again to make some stupid joke. Like, tell your friend to stop fucking calling us. But caller ID came about. I called one of my friends' families to play a prank, and they go, I can see it's your number. And I was like, how do they know it's me? How do they know it's
Yeah,
my
but then-
number?
Was
How
that
can they
before
tell?
Star 67 was invented?
Yeah. Then you
it
do
was
that.
somewhere around there, that time period, yes. But I was like, oh fuck, like now they can tell. I
Yeah.
guess the jig is
Prank
up.
calls.
But then you block your number.
No, I wasn't that far.
Immediately with caller ID came blocking your number. It's like again the counter technology came out, and I don't remember if it was before caller ID or it came out at the same time. And so like if you didn't have it, but you had *69, where you would just hit *69 and it would tell you the last number that called you. It was just like an automated thing, but it would cost money. It was like 15 cents or something like that. So if you got a phone call and either you missed it or you were like, who was that? And you didn't have caller ID, you just hit *69. And if they didn't block their number, then it would tell you. It was all like competing technology.
It was.
The stupidest thing.
I know most of our like punk ass kids stories, but I'm curious, Joe, like how that you're comfortable talking about. How did you almost die as a child? Because I'm sure you did. We all almost did. Oh, come
Plenty
on
of
now.
stories.
Yeah, Joe was getting into it
Okay.
not too long ago.
And did you prank call people?
Oh, I prank call people all the time.
Oh, nice.
That was like my favorite thing to do as a kid. But then I quickly realized, like 2 years down the road, I was like, wow, it's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, it's dumb as hell.
Really annoying.
It's just annoying.
you remember-
You
it's
think
like-
you're like a mastermind?
Yeah.
It's just, you're just
But then-
Well, Bart
annoying.
Simpson
You
makes it
think
look so
back.
cool.
Some guy with a bad day at
You
work.
think
Yes,
back to the
yep.
prank calls that you used to make to like your friends, and it was like, I'm outside your window.
Oh,
You know, like, and then you just hang up. You're like, oh my god. that
And he's
was
probably
so
looking out his
good.
window right now.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Dude, I mentioned this before, but what I would do was, it's like, I just remember vividly when I bowled a lot, like in summer leagues and stuff when I was a kid, and waiting for like my mom or whoever's parent to pick us up. I just did it with friends. We would just prank call people on the payphone outside because I had a fucking
Woof.
it's rain. I had a God, what is it even fucking called? I had a calling card that just had like minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
like
about
because
those.
it was
Yeah.
cheaper. right? Like, that's what you would do. And you didn't have to carry change around and shit. So again, like, that was the world where if I got dropped off at the mall and I was ready to get picked up, I'd pick up a fucking payphone at the mall, call my parents, hope they answer, and then be like, I'm ready to get picked up. And so I just had like a fucking calling card with like minutes on it. And so I would use that to I would go outside the bowling alley and I would just type random numbers. You just hit an area code and like 7 digits and you're probably gonna get a number. And we would just be like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. And then like, but knowing we basically had a getaway car on its way. Like, my mom's gonna be here in 5 minutes. Let's start calling people. And like, it was great because everyone had answering machines, you know? And so you just leave some stupid message on someone like, this is the Johnson family. And we're like, hey, Mr. Johnson, where's your son? And then they just hang up. And it's like, just, it was the stupidest shit. And we would always, in our heads, again, think like, the cops are gonna trace the call to the payphone, but we're gonna be out of here in 5 minutes. Like, we were always driving away and imagined like, I bet the SWAT team's pulling up right now, and they're gonna find the dangling payphone and be like, we just missed them.
You guys remember free minutes after a certain time?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like for nights and shit.
Yeah, like after like 8 p.m.
Oh, dude,
9 p.m. or something, like minutes were free.
The thing that people like have never experienced, like just a couple years under us, is like the world of minutes.
Yeah,
right?
because
Like,
Unlimited came out just a couple years ago.
the fact that people say unlimited now, right? They'll be like, oh, I have unlimited. And usually, obviously, it's in reference to data, not phone calls and shit like that. You know, if you're not talking international, and even now, someone will be like, oh, well, I have unlimited data. And I'll just be like, who has limited data? Like, that's just so crazy to me that like someone's still tracking. Like, remember it would be like, you had limited minutes or whatevers and this and that, but it's like, but three phone numbers you can call as much as you want. Or it'd be like my fave 5. That would be like certain services of like, you would literally like submit phone numbers to your cellular like plan or your phone
provider,
plan, and they'd be like, these are free. It's like, that's so antiquated. It's right.
Before I even had a phone, too, I'm thinking back, was it 10-10-220 that you could call for free? Was that free collect calls?
Whoa.
If you ran into trouble?
I have no idea about that.
Well, there was a few times where like I'd be at a sporting, like after school sporting event, usually swim team, and my parents would either be late or like someone forgot to pick me up sometimes. Happens, I get it. But I'd have to call on the payphone, and I was like, fuck, okay, 10-10-220, and then just like call my parents, be like, hi, I'm chilling by the payphone in front of the building. If you could be here in 15 minutes, that'd be great. And I just kind of wait and hope that they'd be there.
That was the other thing I completely forgot was the thing until you just said it, collect calls.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, I'm sure there's people watching going, what is that?
What are they talking
So
about?
it's like when you get to a payphone where you have to pay, but basically you like hit a number first where it's like, I don't have any money, but the person I'm calling can pay for it.
Yeah.
And so they would get the bill. It's literally like fucking the only thing that's relevant now is prison phone calls.
Right. And
It's like collect call from so-and-so institution.
And do you accept the charges?
Do you accept the charges? Yeah, that would just be like you call it, and then you call collect from the mall, and your parent goes, no. They would just give you the chance, like, say your name now. So that you would answer the phone, and it'd be like, collect call from Michael.
Or like, Michael, come get me.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you do it for free. You go, pick me up. And then they would say no and hang up.
Right. Do you accept the call from pick me up already?
I'll be outside of Nordstrom.
Do you remember that commercial or no?
Fuck, I forgot about that.
You just fit it in real quick.
There was a whole commercial where they had that exact discussion, and it's a guy calling about the fact that he had a son, and he's calling his father, and they're like, do you accept a call from, how the baby gets a boy? And he's like, and they're like, yes, I do.
How the baby eats a boy.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Damn, dude. That's so much like weird little shit that I just completely forgot about in everyday life. Where it's like, it's a thing where it's not like a huge technology where it's easy to think like, I remember before cell phones and then we got cell phones. But there's so much in between cell phones and where we are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you just forget about all that shit. Like, again, cell phones were cell phones and not smartphones for so long. And then even when they were, like, fuck, I didn't get one until I moved to Austin, right? Like,
Yeah,
I waited forever because I didn't need it.
Remember when like people used to make a big deal if you even just had a touch screen phone?
Yeah,
So it's not even a
or
smartphone.
a big screen TV,
side
and I mean
Yeah.
big screen, not HD.
Or flat
Razor.
screen. No.
It was big and fucking
Heavy.
Yes.
Oh, they were like hundreds of pounds.
Yep.
Not exaggerating. They were like 500 pounds. My cousin had one.
Well, it's funny, Y2K fashion and aesthetic is like back in track now because we're all parents, so all the kids now
We are?
Surprise! So our generation's
We
parents,
control
yeah.
what they're into.
Yes.
Congrats.
But yeah, it markets to us and the younger generation who
Your
wants
own
to
dad
emulate
now.
that. Yeah. Congrats, Joe.
I'm
So-
my own father?
Well, no, I mean that you don't
Boy.
like. You went
What
out.
a
Why only
You're
those
trying
you
to
went
rock
out.
the
Such
boat.
a
Only
good
do
son.
Oh,
Give you a
God.
pat in the
Not
back.
listening to what I'm
Good
saying.
boy.
You went out for milk and didn't come back.
Oh no.
You didn't even know it.
You didn't
See what
even
I'm
come back
saying?
to yourself.
It's like Snaky Bus all over again.
But you can enjoy all the
Your
things
son's
that
gonna
you
find
love.
you driving a
I've
bus.
turned into what I've hated the most. I
went down
swore
the
to myself. I swore to
Jeremy.
myself I would never be like him.
faux pas.
We went down a dark road and a challenge accepted Snaky Bus a week or two.
What the hell is Snaky
Snaky Bus? It's like Slither.io, but it's first person and you're just a
Pip
bus.
Pap Scallywap Jr.?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And at some point, Alfredo started talking about how his dad left him, and he ran into him one day driving a bus. And he was like, "Hey, Dad." And I kept saying, like, "Did he make you stand behind the line?" And he was like, "He did." And then Joe started talking about his dad, and Matt's just sitting there going, "What the fuck is happening?" And then they just kept talking about not knowing where their dads are, and then I was like, I know exactly where my dad is.
Oh, no.
And Matt was just going, I thought we were playing Snaky Bus.
God.
And then at the end of that challenge, it was just so funny because everyone said bye, and I was like, Dad, if you're watching this,
He kept saying, if you're watching, Dad. I kept saying, he's not watching. He's definitely not watching.
I shouldn't be laughing. but
Oh,
that's
Alfredo
funny.
was saying, he was like, Dad, the least you can do is give me like a bus pass.
like a day pass.
I gotta know when this episode comes out.
Oh, I think it's out already.
Goodness.
I think it came out.
Lord.
That's so
I hope
hard.
so. Because it was so stupid.
Maybe not. It was funny as hell.
Stand behind the line.
It was funny as
I
hell,
guess
dude.
part of early 2000s aesthetic is wondering where your dad is.
I'm just saying.
See, that's the thing though. Like growing up, because like growing up, I didn't have like my father wasn't around. So like I actually used to wonder when I was a kid, where is my dad? And so like when I would go to like parents' house, everyone was like, oh, you know, like it was just your mom. I was like, yeah, my dad's on a business trip. Because that's what my mom used to tell me. and then when I got older, I was like, where is my dad? And she just wouldn't like.
Well.
She came out telling the truth, and I was like 12, and then I was like, oh.
Damn.
The business that he had was getting a pack of cigarettes. Never getting back.
Christ.
The way you do the choked up voice is so good.
I mean, look, like I get Joe's delivery, right? It's his story. I love it. I'm all for the drop this on someone and then everyone else goes, oh my God, what do I do?
But you're loving it.
And I love it. And that was Matt. It was 3 people doing that, and Matt just going. I think somebody, Alfredo or someone, is just going like, yeah, you know exactly where your dad is.
Well, the worst is Michael, of course, is his story. It's his humor. He's allowed to joke about that.
Yeah.
But the number of people who aren't aware of this fact, and Michael will make jokes like that, and they're like,
Well,
oh,
what
that
I
is your
always
dad. I'm like,
what I always like doing with my dead dad is
God
leading
damn it.
someone
damn it.
to get them to start talking.
Yep.
And then I drop it.
See, Destiny
You know what I mean?
makes.
Like I lead into them talking about their dad, and I will subtly drop hints. Like, yeah, like when we were talking about Father's Day one year, and I told Sarah, I was like, I haven't gotten my dad Father's Day
Yep.
in years. And she was like, oh my God, you haven't?
I'm like, stop.
And I just let her a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you drop it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I watched that all go down.
I
I couldn't stop it.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to say, like, when it was Father's Day, like, and Facebook was around, I used to say Happy Father's Day to those who have dads.
Dude, I mean, like, I'm like, as a kid, like, that sucks. But man, that's so funny.
I
used to
had
say
a Red Bull in my mouth.
And
That's so funny.
I remember I used to, like, do that, and I would be like, it would be half funny, but, like, realistically,
Yeah.
I'd be sad.
Sure.
So then sometimes, like, the years would change where it'd be like, instead of just saying Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, I would say Happy Father's Day to everyone who has dads. And Dad, if you ever see this, Happy Father's Day.
Dude, again, like, and I get some people not being able to joke about that in their situation, but also, like, dude, it's
We
just so
flew Jeremy
funny.
in for this.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, I'll be honest. I think it's hilarious.
Dude, I wish my dad was
Like, I
dead.
get
What do you want me to
dark,
do about
but
it?
it's-
And the other thing too is people will be like, oh my God, something. And I'll go, look, he doesn't care.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you do say that a lot.
We we talked about Jeremy's relationship with his father, and now we're going to talk about Joe's relationship with his father.
The only person I'll even give like that like has the right to be offended will be my mother. Right? You know what I mean? Like someone going, that's awful. Fuck you. He's not your dad. What do you care?
Right.
But like even then, the way like my brother and I will like talk to our mother about it, where we're like, you know, she'll say something, you know, just whatever relevant, like, oh, you know, I can't do this because blah 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 blah. And, you know, your father would have thought this or that or whatever. And my brother would be like, good thing he's dead, so it doesn't matter. Like, who gives a shit what he would think?
That's that East Coast
It doesn't matter, though. Like, what do you...
Such a different mentality.
Yeah, but like, look, you can't live your life. It's just like, right. But, like, I promise he won't care, you know, if you change the mattress.
I will say, I just said that's East Coast mentality. It's not. There's another thing, like, I don't know if y'all have experienced this too with Southerners. Southerners are also blunt, but usually it's about topics like that, like death. My father especially, like he goes into Hank Hill mode, I call it, where he'll be like, hey man, look, like life's tough sometimes, shit happens. So like we'll have a death in the family or like a pet recently passed. My dad literally just texts me and says like RIP, cat's name. And I'm like, okay, my cat's dead,
put a
I
frowny
guess.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sometimes he'll throw in an emoji
put a
for some
frowny
flair.
face.
See, I used to, when people used to ask me like what my ethnicity was, I used to joke that I was half Korean, half ghost, because my dad ghosted us.
Jesus Christ. That's cool.
I used to do that to people.
That's cool.
I used to do that to people who like,
Joey
like
fans.
we obviously like, we have friends, but like the question never came up, like what ethnicity are you? And then they would just ask out of the blue, and I would just throw that, and then they'd be like,
Right.
they'd be like, oh.
You get shocked or they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Or you have people who just laugh their ass off.
Right.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, my dad too.
I'm using that. I'm using that.
See,
great.
I've learned to not do it, but my Southern instinct also used to make me the person who would walk into that because I'd be trying to kindly interact with you and be like, oh, hey, like, tell me about your family. Like, how your parents? What's going on? And then to be like, so-and-so's dead or so-and-so left. And I'd be like, oh, well, fuck me. I'm
See,
leaving.
bye.
Yeah, see you
I never
later.
stuck with that, with like general conversations with people, right?
Yeah.
But like if I know the person, I know that they're going, like I know I can do it to them. I'll do it.
Right. The other thing I like to do, and it's people that know, right? But I'll do it all the time. It's the most just like irrelevant conversation that someone is literally just talking and they'll be like, oh yeah, like people we know, like in the office, somebody just like, oh, I went to my parents' house this weekend. I go, well, look at you, I got 2 parents, great, fucking brag some more about it. This guy over here, like, can you believe this? I love doing that. And going, throw it in my face some more. And someone's like, I just went home. I was just saying I went home. Wow, hey, how many parents do you have? Because they've got 2. Great.
I used to watch, oh my God. There was this internet show that to...
We're gonna be an orphan soon.
So Sark, if you know the YouTuber Sark, Mr. Sark, and then APL Fisher, they did a show called Respawn Inbox. It's like Machinima Respawn. They had a mail show where they would just get fan mail and read it all out. And Sark has some of the darkest humor. It's that kind of shit all the time. He was talking to APL about like his grandparents. And he's like, "How many grandparents you got left?" And APL's like, "Oh, two of them have passed. I still got 2 left." And Sark is like, "Hey, 50% of the way there. Congratulations."
Damn.
And they're like keep going on like randomly. I'm like, my God, like why?
See, that exactly. Have you watched Bojack Horseman yet? I know we talked about this.
No, but I really should.
I won't spoil
People
anything.
love it.
It's an amazing
He's a
show.
horse.
I love it. Yeah, surprise.
I've heard it gets very real.
Very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
quickly.
In the most beautiful way possible. I felt like it was very cathartic. I watched it in 2020 also, which was the best and worst time to watch it because it was, again, very healing, but
Did a bird just shit?
maybe.
No, Cody's freaking out.
Oh.
You okay? Watch Bojack Horseman, Cody.
I'm trying, but you're over there banging trash cans around and shit.
Playing Yahtzee in a box over there.
And it's a fucking panda getting a midnight snack.
It sounded like a
It was a
did
little
not
good.
sound like that.
No, it was not
It was
the noise.
clearly like a piece of plastic being dropped. I think he dropped
That's what I heard when That's why I
You
asked
are
him
dying.
about
You are dying.
Jesus. But if you get a chance to watch it, I think you'll enjoy the way that it navigates between heavy subject matter like that and comedy. And I think it had to make it like, because it was so serious in a lot of ways, it had to kind of wrap it in this comedic envelope and surround it with animals. And that's why I think they added all these like animal characters into it. So you'll have moments where, for example, there's a character called Mr. Peanut Butter who is a dog, and he's on the phone talking about someone who is contemplating suicide. Very heavy subject matter, very intense. But as he's talking about it, he starts rolling on the grass like a dog, like, you know? And so you're like, I can't help but laugh at this moment. Right. You're a dog, but you're talking about a very, very serious, intense subject here. But yeah, that's the whole show. Highly recommended. So
I think it's
if you
weird
like dark
when
the
people date animals, though.
Yeah.
That is, they don't just date, they fuck. Like they.
Because it's like not mentioned, right? It's not a thing. Like people are just people and animals in the show, and it's not pointed out.
They'll make jokes about it,
It's
but
not
that's
like, whoa, you're a bird. It's just sort of like a fact. Right? It's treated just like races, basically.
And people date.
And so they'll just be like a person dating an animal.
Yeah. Or like,
And I just can't
Is it
get
just
over
like still a person but with the head of an animal?
Yeah, usually.
They're like humanoid dog, yeah.
Usually, yeah.
So like there's scenes where Mr. Peanut Butter takes off his shirt and they show off his 8-pack, and they're like, oh wow, you're so
he's
hot,
like
but it's a
golden
dog.
retriever, right?
Yeah, it's a golden retriever.
There were actually people choking chickens in that show.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, there's
yes,
chickens choking
yes.
chickens, there's chickens choking
There's
people.
whole choking themes. There's a whole choking arc
Are there
in the
fish
show.
people?
Yes,
But
yes.
With the head of a fish, is it like, how does
Yes.
that look? Is its head going straight up?
Yes, actually.
Really?
It's just like, yeah, actually.
I love that shit, like in SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, the meat.
Like straight. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the meat.
stuff like that. Yeah.
There's some meat.
So if those characters, but if they were talking about being horribly depressed all the time, that's
Yeah,
that's the
it's
show.
bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
But
the
again,
whole basis of the show
beautiful,
is like he was like
healing.
he was like a child star. Although like child is like it was like a fucking Charles in Charge type show where he was like the older like caregiver, almost like an uncle. Like I'm guessing he was like supposed to be 20 or
Back
something.
in the 90s, he was in a very famous TV sitcom
Yeah,
show.
yes. But he was like the caregiver to a bunch of kids. But he was like 18, 20 or something like that. And so that's why he's famous. But the whole show takes place is like, he's like a fucking alcoholic, you know, like has every vice, struggles with everything, is always getting like arrested and shit.
A lot
Still
of
getting
fans-
roles,
Yes.
but like shitty. And just like, the show does nothing but flashbacks to like when his life was good. But even then, you can see like the start of it being bad. Like his parents were pieces of shit. And like he started drinking like on the show. And then like he ended up corrupting like some of the children from the show that grew up
Yeah.
into like fucking burnouts and shit.
And they have heavy,
it's
like,
all bad.
Heavy
It's
social
all
commentary
bad.
about all of this, including like the
But-
child actor aspect. They go through like, you know, like
But
all of the
his
above.
roommate is Aaron Paul. And
Also
he's
true.
very funny.
He is very
He's
funny.
from Breaking Bad, Jesse.
Yeah.
And he's a completely different character too. So shout out to that range.
He's a human.
Yeah. Also, not an animal.
Anyway.
But even
he's
with
pretty
the
good.
Fish.
with the animal
not a
aspect
fish.
too.
He's not a fish.
I'd want to be cast as a fish if I was in that show.
Honestly.
I want to be a halibut, man.
Well,
You want to be a halibut?
halibut
so you
would
can
be
have your
The
eyes
two
on
eyes.
one side. I want to be one of those bulgy-eyed fish you see in people's like fish tanks, like the really big
Oh,
bulgy
yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
But now you want bulgy or you want to be like fish at the bottom of the ocean that's got lanterns on their head?
No.
They're like fucking blind and shit.
Yeah, they're blind.
like-
See,
but,
no,
like they can feel.
I want giant bulgy eyes just like
Okay.
poking out.
You need some kind of pun
You could be
name,
like a
is what I
frog,
found from the
too.
show too. Yeah. If you're a person who exists in the real world, for example, they have Quentin Tarantulatina, I believe is his name. So it's Quentin Tarantino, but he's a tarantula. So that exists in the show. So you can find
Nice.
some kind of goldfish name for you. Same with your halibut. Obviously, if there's a
Joel-
halibut
Hector
parody there.
Elbutt.
There you go.
Joldy.
Goldfish. That's
Joldy.
pretty good.
Joldy.
Joldy.
Joldy the goldfish.
Joldy.
Oh, wow.
Joldy.
Well, this was great.
Joldy Fishburne.
We're done. They want me to stop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Okay.
It unfortunately wasn't.
All right. Well,
For the audience.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
They're
it
just
was a-
going, oh my God.
It was a
They're
slog.
just talking about being old and phones. God, I'm such an old piece of shit. I turned 35 soon, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Gross.
Wow.
Damn, dude, don't worry. I'll still be rolling around here licking sawdust off
Did you
the
bring your
floor.
walker and your blood thinner?
No,
You good?
but man, it was weird being the old men without our walkers.
No
canes
walkers and
shit.
canes. I felt stronger
Yeah,
than ever, dude.
I
was
felt
like, I don't need it.
I felt off, dude.
Yeah.
Having to actually support myself because I just flop, you know, because I'm usually walking.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you know, it's pre-recorded. I told you that. I'm assuming the post team's doing something after
I
this.
told you that.
Well, if you forgot, fucking pay attention, idiot.
Yeah.
Not you, the audience.
Why we didn't respond to your messages in chat. That's why.
I wouldn't have responded anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing post team's next, unless they're not.
Gross.
Then what do you want me to do about it?
No.
Because we have a shoot this week. We have a bunch of shoots this week.
Yeah.
But post team's in another location, so I don't see why that would impact them. So if they don't stream after this, they're just being lazy. I'm calling it. I'm calling it as I sees it. You got to get your
Predicting the future
Colorado
here.
people in line.
Look, it's not my fault.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Might be from the same place, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't originate there.
I'm guessing she did.
I think Sarah.
know
I
that.
think Sarah.
She calls it
originated.
Colorado.
Yeah.
It's not Colorado. It's Colorado.
Whoa.
Colorado,
Discrepancy within the
Rado
state.
Can we
fight.
get a poll?
What
does 303
Can we get a
say?
poll?
The band.
No, we won't.
Oh, we've got an instant answer?
Anyway,
I can't get up.
hey, you know what I should mention though? Actually, that was on here that I ignored before
Yeah.
we go out. I had a note here that probably had more information, but if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out SBI. Survive Block Island, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
That series is real good. It looks phenomenal.
It
As
does,
someone who
yes.
was not involved in it in any way, like I wasn't in it, I didn't know. I knew what it was, but I didn't know what it would look like. The first time I saw it was when we were at the tour.
Yeah,
And I
same.
was like, holy shit, that's what it looks like?
Yeah.
It's fucking cool as shit.
Yep.
Again, the question everyone always asks, is it scripted? Not at all. The only scripted things is like Trevor hosting it. But it's just literally like essentially Survivor in Minecraft, and it's shot cinematically. But it's just like a regular Let's Play, basically. It's fucking cool. But first 4 episodes are out now, so if you're a first member, check it out. If not, maybe sign up, check it out. It's real good. We're live throughout the week on RTTV, or we're not, because we weren't today. That's probably a lie. Why'd you send that, Tyler? If you're watching live, you can't be. You can watch this on Thursday, but it's not live. Stick around for Post Team Does Stuff with something, unless they don't do anything, because they're lazy. You can wrap at 1 p.m. Well,
Okay.
we missed that window.
All right.
Yeah. But close, though.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Good job. Hey, thanks. How's Cody doing?
Dad.
Oh. Whoa, you're over there. What the hell?
What? It was
Did
a
you use the F word
genuine
at me?
question.
You used the F word at me.
Yeah.
Hurt myself. I dropped my phone. That was it.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure you're mentally okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I've heard myself
Cody,
drop my
how's your
phone.
dad?
Goodness.
Okay, he's good.
I'm
good.
kidding.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, I hope that went well.
It went well.
Okay. Good.
No, that's
Excellent.
great.
Dad.
He's stronger than ever.
Dad, if you didn't watch the challenge accepted and you're watching this one now, I'm here.
Come pick me up.
See,